Representative Grayson, aside from legislative approaches, there's a question here which I think is an interesting one about how do you empower or organize shareholders to play a role in convincing the corporations that they are investors in to change their approaches to buying, trying to buy influence. That is there anything that can be done sort of in terms of shareholder activism to influence what corporations are doing?
Well, yes. The Shareholder Protection Act, among other things, says that these votes have to be disclosed if you're an institutional investor. Let's say that you're Fidelity. If you're going to be voting to spend lots of money to influence elections, people need to know that. So the first way to start is to do what the bill does, which is to require disclosure of how large institutional investors actually are willing to use their votes. That will, I think, serve to deter them from thinking they can get away with something in secret. The second thing is that if this goes ahead, I think you're going to see labor unions asserting themselves and pension funds asserting themselves. Labor unions and pension funds actually control a very substantial part of the stock market. They don't normally have to assert themselves because normally these issues don't come up. But in fact, there is a lot of power already in what the share ownership of what represents people's lifetime savings in their pension funds. So I think both of these things will tend to militate toward having shareholders assert themselves. But in the end, we can't rely on that alone. Ultimately, we're going to have to rely upon the power of the people to organize and to make sure that the system responds to them.
Can I just say something? Before I came in Congress, you reminded me, Alan, that I was involved in a huge issue out in my community, and we organized all of our neighbors to each buy 5 shares in this corporation that was just trying to do horrible things to our community. And so we each bought our 5 shares. They cost us about $10 a piece. And then we got a group of people together, and we hightailed it to the shareholder meeting. And we so disrupted things as shareholders that it actually forced the company and the developer to completely rethink what it is that they were doing. And so I actually think that there is great power in organizing shareholders, and that the legislation that you're working on really will help us, all of us, to really leverage that. And I just wanted to share it because it's an experience that I had, and I know that there's power in doing it even when you just have 5 shares. And some of our pension funds are a lot more than that.
Until they move all the shareholder meetings to Dubai, but at least until then.
You're right.